What's up guys and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to install a local version of the web UI that we are currently seeing, where you can actually go ahead and speak with different LLMs absolutely for free, all using Huggingface models. Right, you can see that we have a list of models here. Some cost more money and some are publicly available, such as the Mistral 7B Instruct. So without further ado, let's begin. First we're going to go ahead and go into the Huggingface chat UI repo in Github. We're going to clone it, right? So you're going to go here, you're going to open the folder in which you want to clone it, and then just go ahead and clone it. I already have it installed, so we can go ahead and get right into it. So let's open it in a Visual Studio Code, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and use it in VS Code, and it's going to open up. Let's close this. Right. So now what you're gonna see is like a bunch of modules. Let me just clean it up for a sec. And then we're gonna go ahead and go over the steps they define here. They're gonna tell us that we need to somewhat duplicate the .env file that already exists, right? So if we're gonna take a look here, we can see that we have a .env file. And then you're gonna clone it and make a .env local version. And then you're gonna need a MongoDB URL and Huggingface access token. If you have a Docker running locally, you can just go ahead and run this command. So let me go ahead and do it as well. Right. This basically just bootstraps a Docker image of MongoDB running locally. It might need to download it for you, which will take a couple of seconds, and then you can go ahead and see it in Docker as well. You can see it says in use, and then if you want, you can go with MongoDB Compass and connect to it, right? So this means that we now have a MongoDB running locally, and we want to start the actual UI. So first things first, we need to set up the MongoDB URL here, and then you can see that I have an Huggingface access token, which I'll invalidate after this video. But basically how it works, in order to generate one, we're going to need to create a user in Huggingface. You can see that I have a link here. You can click on it. So it'll forward you into our Huggingface settings tokens page in Huggingface. If you don't have a user yet, go ahead and create one. Then you're going to go back into this page. And then you're going to click on new token and create a read or a write version. In this case, you can make it read, make it write for other stuff as well. And then just click on copy and paste it just like that in your .env local version. And then we can basically run the code. What you're going to need in order to run the actual code, as they mention here, you need to run an npm install. This means that you need to have a node on your machine. And once you have that, you can go ahead and run npm run dev. So if I'm going to do that, all you need to do is just wait for a couple of seconds. It's going to let you know that it's running, and then you can click on it. As it's booting up, you can go ahead and go into the MongoDB as well. It's going to generate a new database called JetUI, and you can actually see the various different collections in the database. And I'll try explaining what's going on, but let's start off by showing you that this actually works, right? So first of all, you can see that we have 3 models up and running. And this is because this is what our configuration has, right? We have Mistral 7B Instruct. This is the last one. We have Code Llama 34B, and we have Llama 2 70B. So these are the 3 models configured in our models section. And you can see that they have more here on the Huggingface demo version. The cool part here is that you can easily replace them and add new models here. All I need to do is basically copy the configuration from here, go ahead into Huggingface, find the relevant LLM that you want, and just add a configuration matching to your needs. So for example, let's stick with Mistral 7B today, and then we can actually start asking questions, right? So for example, we can ask it to help us write code that will print 1 through 100 in Python, right? Loop. Right, so it's gonna take a couple of seconds, it's gonna let us know, and then it's gonna return a perfectly working functional loop that actually does it, right? So if we were to go into Python, you can then go ahead, run it. You can see that we actually got the values 1 through 100. And this is actually done fully locally, without any cost right now, because we're using a publicly available inference endpoint. But the interesting part here that right now we're standing on the conversations collection, and once we run it again, we can actually get the messages from the chat. So help me write a Python loop. This is what I inserted. And the second value is the response, right? And then you can actually go through the responses. It's basically it. You can go ahead and configure it however you would like it to. You can go ahead and view different collections, the message event settings. You can even manage users here, and you can even change the theme from dark to white if for whatever reason you prefer it white. And yeah, this is kind of dope in my opinion. You can switch up models super easily and then reconfigure them according to your needs. If you have a pro version in Huggingface, you can also use more advanced models such as the Falcon 180B chat, for example, and so on. And yeah, this is kind of dope. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.